The Washington, D.C. area offers great rock climbing. The sport of free climbing has grown very popular. Hundreds of thousands of people climb in the U.S. alone. Dave Nugent, the head of Adventure School's rock climbing, talks to us about the sport.
The thing about rock climbing is it's an individual sport. It's just you against the rock. There's no team, there's nothing. It is the ultimate minimizer or humbleizer, I'll call it.
Rock climbing is a physically and mentally demanding sport, one that often tests strength, endurance, agility, and balance, along with mental control. It can be a dangerous sport. Dave works with students, training them in the safety and techniques of climbing.
Just you against nature. You can take it at your own pace and just be outside and enjoy it. But I think it is the individual aspect or nature of the sport which really drove me to it and makes me passionate about it.
Because of the wide range and variety of rock formations around the world, climbing has been separated into different styles and disciplines, including bouldering, free climbing, rope soloing, as well as many others. The difficulties of the climbs depend on grading systems for the technical difficulty of routes, which come down to the holds, the steepness of the climb, how polished it is, to name a few.
So we'll talk about how polished the rock is or how slippery the rock is, from the lack of texture or the type of rock, like quartz gets very, very slick and polished. So when you put your foot on a hold, it doesn't have anything to adhere to. So it really boils down to excellent technique, to climbing with still feet, to where you can put your foot on a piece of glass that feels like it has water on it and still be able to stand. So here we talk about how greasy it is.
But no matter the difficulty of certain rocks, there are climbs for everyone. The starting point for developing good rock climbing technique begins with a climber's sense of balance and how they control their balance on the rock. The control and fluidness of how a climber moves is one of the primary indicators of good, well-developed rock climbing technique.
Well, climbing, contrary to what somebody might think when they're actually looking and watching climbers that make it look easy, is that it involves a lot of upper body activity. Really, climbing is just a series of short leg extensions, while your upper body is primarily keeping you from leaning too close into the rock or leaning too far back or falling away. So, being that we're not using our upper body to pull us up, to ascend the rock, it's more about lateral movement, pulling your weight to one side, to the other side, so you can shift your weight onto one foot or the other. That way you can create a good positive contact with the sticky rubber that's on your shoes. It's just like climbing a ladder. Nobody does pull-ups up a ladder.
Climbing rope is dynamic, able to stretch a bit under tension. This is because the rope must stop falling climbers. If the rope did not stretch, a falling climber would be jerked suddenly, as the rope stops them. Instead, the rope slows the fall more gently. As Dave points out, the most useful piece of climbing equipment is a pair of climbing shoes. Improvements in the shoe design alone have allowed climbers to climb many things previously unclimbable.
Well, unlike the old shoes that were real stiff and not a lot of offer a lot of sensitivity or flexibility, just big, heavy clodhoppers. Unlike our modern shoes today, which are very, very sticky rubber, which allows them to literally stick to nothing on the rock. Worn very, very tight, which gives us a lot of sensitivity and forces our foot into a position which makes it really rigid.
In top roping, a rope from the top of the climb always holds the climber, making most slips off the climb harmless. The climber is attached to one end of the rope, and the other end is held by the belayer. The belayer must keep the slack in the rope to a minimum, since when a climber slips, any slack must be taken up before the rope can stop the fall. Dave teaches these safety techniques to his students.
Rock climbing safety ultimately adds length and longevity to your climbing career. If you don't climb safely, you're not going to be a climber for a long time. And there's a saying, you can apply it to a lot of things, but it applies really well to climbing. There's a lot of old climbers and there's a lot of bold climbers, but there's not a lot of old, bold climbers, because eventually something's going to catch up to you if you're not using proper techniques and taking the proper safety measures.
Climbing is a thriving sport in the DC area and around the country, and Dave is working to instruct people in its techniques.